Good morning, everybody. According to the official timekeeping system of the United States of America, my Verizon wireless Apple 15 not paid off cell phone. It is 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock Mountain, 7 o'clock Pacific. And if you're listening to us from the great states of Hawaii or Alaska, it's a wee bit early in the morning out that away. Thanks so much for being here today. I am your co-host. Sorry, Jim, I forgot. Mark Kiner. Beautiful day in Cincinnati. It's kind of in the 70s, it seems like. And am I right, Jim? It's gonna be in the 70s?
Yeah, it's maybe even upper 70s. I don't know, but it's going to be a nice day today.
Not bad. I wanted, it's going to be nice for the next few days. It's supposed to kind of be in the 70s kind of the whole time over the next few days, of course. That's kind of what I meant to say. Wanted to let you know that we are going to be restructuring our certificate program in January of next year. So things are going to change. Tuition is going to go up and the lifetime renewal is going to go away. So if any of you would like to utilize lifetime renewal this year, go for it, because you won't be able to use it into the future. Just send me an email, mkiner@mypremierplan.com, and I'll send you the link for the lifetime renewal. All right.
What is the lifetime renewal, Mark?
It's $1,000, and it gives you the opportunity not to pay any more renewal fees. The restructuring will still allow you to utilize the lifetime renewal. You still have to keep up with CE 8 hours every 2 years. But that's good though. It's good education.
And then since that's going away, what will the renewals be every year?
Well, I hear it's going to be $195 each year after that, beginning in 2025. I don't know if that's official yet. Things are still kind of being worked out, but that's kind of what I hear. And the tuition is going up between 33 and 67%, just depending on what format of our education you want to take.
So if you've already paid the lifetime, kind of grandfathered in?
Yeah, you will be. Yeah. That's kind of the key. So send me an email. I'll send you the payment link for their lifetime renewal. I'm Kiner, Kiner @mypremierplan.com. More information will be coming out with when stuff is finalized, but yeah, we're pretty close to it. Pretty close. Okay. So I am hoping your NFL team won last night. I know one of the co-hosts here is not very happy. One of the co-hosts here may be happy. I don't know. But my team lost, the Browns. They are not looking very good. I watched the game on the Browns-Bengals game. Then I would then watch Patrick Mahomes for the Kansas City Chiefs. And he just keeps playing every down, every game, whereby now 6 weeks into the Cleveland Browns season, Deshaun Watson is gone again for the year. Isn't that just hilarious? And then his backup, he hurt his finger. I don't know what happened. I fell asleep at the time, so he's out. It's just amazing. Barry, are you from Cleveland or what? You're shaking your head no or something. I didn't hear.
I'm not. I just feel sorry for Deshaun Watson trying to get on the right track of an injury.
Well,
Crazy.
agreed. 1000%, Barry. 1000%. I agree. And believe me, all the Browns struggles are not on Deshaun Watson. There's no doubt about it. It's a team effort, and the team sucks. All right, but I hope your NFL team won last night. Jim, were you happy?
Well, yeah, I'm not with the first half, but once it was said and done, I can't complain.
All right, everybody knows the procedure of our open forums. Go ahead, and if you want to come to the top, just raise your hand and I'll get to you almost right away. If not, I'll just kind of go through Hollywood Squares and we'll talk to our Houston advisor, Paul. Paul, did your team win yesterday?
Oh, heck no. The team that I follow, but onward and upward.
What team do you follow?
Well, I follow the Patriots because I'm from back east originally.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah,
Okay.
so they're going for the draft pick, #1 draft. That's the only way. I don't have any questions today, just listening in.
All right, Paul,
Good with you,
thanks.
Mark. Good to
Dan
do.
Browns are going for the draft pick too, I'm
Yeah.
sure. Okay, Teresa, our Pittsburgh Steelers fan. Go ahead, Teresa.
Got nothing today either, just listening.
Okay, thank you. Carlos, you're next.
Good morning. Yes, I have a question. I had sent you and James this email. Like I emailed you the question, and I wanted to see if you guys could give a little bit more clarity on it.
Did we answer it yet?
James did, yes.
Okay.
And the question revolved around a federal employee who's Border Patrol, and they've retired from Border Patrol at 52 years of age. And his comment to me was, well, I'm getting Social Security too to supplement my income. And I thought, well, how is that possible? And so James responded that there is a supplement that comes from Social Security for them. But is that for all federal employees? Is it just Border Patrol and Customs? Is it just law enforcement?
Yeah, it doesn't come from Social Security. It comes from FERS, Federal Employees Retirement System. And what they do is they pay a supplement that would be equal to what Social Security would be if it was payable. So because they're retiring before 62 and Social Security is part of the FERS program, since Social Security is not payable, they pay what Social Security would have. And then at 62, that goes away and they can file for Social Security or they can wait. But it ends at age 62, but it's a supplement paid through FERS, Federal Employees Retirement System.
And that's equal to their full retirement age calculation?
No, it's equal to what they would receive at age 62.
Reduced, okay.
Yeah, and it's anybody on FERS. It doesn't matter. It's not just the Border Patrol or the police, federal police. It's anybody under Federal Employees Retirement. Which is anybody hired after January 1st of 84. So, excuse me, pretty much everybody now.
Okay, because I thought I had read it was for, I guess, licensed peace officers off of the Social Security website, but so that's good to know that it applies to any federal employee.
Well, anybody under, if they're really old and under the old civil service, it doesn't apply because they didn't pay into Social Security. They changed the rules and started in 84. Newly hired people, instead of paying into civil service, were under the new FERS program, and they paid Social Security tax on their earnings. So what happens is if you retire before age 62, since Social Security is supposedly part of the calculation, they pay this supplement to cover that until Social Security becomes payable.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Thank you, Carlos. Susan, you're next.
I don't have a question for today. I just wondered if either one of you wanted to offer an opinion about the cost of living adjustment. I realize it's based on facts, but it just really struck me as unbelievably low. So that's my comment.
Well, it's based on CPIW, and it is what it is. So not high enough. Maybe you're, that's what you're saying, Susan. I don't disagree with you, but it's based on CPIW. Jim, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, it'd be nice to get a higher raise, but then that also means that inflation's a little bit higher. So I'm always greedy. I hope inflation goes out of control for July, August, and September, and then gets back under control the rest of the year, so I can get me a nice raise too. But yeah, it's, is it going to keep people on Social Security, keep them up with the prices of things? Not too well. Looks like Medicare is going to go up about $10. Haven't heard anything official yet, but it's looking around 185. So not too bad of an increase, but still it takes away some of the cost of living adjustment people are going to get.
Yeah, that leads me to another question. Then what is the IRMA wage, or income limits, what is that tied to? Is that also CPIW or is that another index?
That's something they get. I'm not sure exactly what it's based on. It's figures they get from the Department of Labor, but I don't know. I haven't ever heard it was based on the CPIW, but I couldn't tell you for sure.
And when does that normally come out?
Should come out fairly soon because a lot of times the letters to people telling them about the changes in their Medicare premium come out in November. So I would expect sometime, if not this month, early November.
Thank you.
Sure. Yeah, probably when we hear what the official Medicare increase is, they'll probably have the IRMA information at that point.
You think, Susan? Amy, you're up.
All right, so I have a question. I have a client who's a widow. She is collecting pension from the city. So her husband never paid into Social Security. She's 65. My question is, when she turns full retirement age in 2 years, can she, in addition to the pension, can she collect Social Security based on her earnings?
Yep. Because she didn't work for the government. Did not.
She did not work for the
Right.
government.
And so she can get both.
Okay, that's what I wanted to check on. Thank you.
I'm getting both. I'm getting a widower benefit, and I'm getting my own Social Security in full. So yeah, I'm getting both. I'm a living example of that opportunity.
All right, cool. Thank you.
Thank you, Amy. iPad 2. I don't know your name. There you go. You're moving your left hand. Can't hear you though. You're on mute. There you go.
I'm Alan Walters and
Oh, Al, you're Alan. Okay. Thanks, Alan.
Yep.
Chris, you're next, Chris.
I am a fly on the wall today, but thank you. And congratulations on your football teams, whoever won.
Oh. Well, I second that. Okay, Barry, you're next, Barry.
No questions, Mark. I'm the
Okay.
second fly.
Thank you. Kathy.
Okay, so I have two divorced individuals. Husband 63, ex-wife is 64. Neither are collecting, and they've been married for more than 10 years, and the ex-wife's earnings are higher. So what would be the best strategy here for the husband? Should he start collecting his at 62 and then he can flip to the ex-wife, but neither one of them are collecting now? Yeah.
How long divorced?
I don't.
That's kind of a key issue.
Yeah, a while, like 10 years.
Okay, that's fine. Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay, Jim, we have enough facts, except we don't. We don't have any PIAs.
Yeah, so the ex-wife's earnings are much higher than the husband's.
Well, remember, he'll have to take off of his own first, and then as soon as he applies, deemed filing would make him also take any independently entitled divorced spouse benefit that he's due. So whenever he applies, he'll take his own retirement, and then at the same time, he'll receive any divorced spouse benefit that he's due. He can't take his own now and save the other one till later.
Oh, you can't do that.
Right.
Oh, you got it. It's a one. You got to figure out when you want to collect, and then you only get the higher of the two, right?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it's two-part calculation. He'll take his own and then get an additional amount from hers if it's payable. And with deemed filing, he can't wait. He'll have to go ahead and take it. So if he wants to get the full 50% of her PIA, he'd have to wait till his full retirement age to file for anything.
Okay, so that's probably going to be his best strategy then, is to wait till his FRA to get 50% of hers.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's a real good strategy. And if he's still working, of course, the earnings test would apply. So,
No, he's not. He's retired and he's got a pension, so he's not hard up, you know?
oh, okay. So yeah, if he doesn't need the money waiting till full retirement age, he can at least get the most amount of money that way.
But it's his full retirement age. It has nothing to do with her FRA, right?
Right, right. She could be younger as long as she's 62 or older.
Yeah, no, she's a
doesn't
year
matter.
older, but
Mhm.
all right. So then his best strategy is probably wait till FRA and then he gets 50% of her benefit.
Right.
Thank you. Hey, I had one other question. Is the Zoom link the same for each meeting or it
No,
changes?
it's different.
Okay. Thank you, Mark.
Okay. And also, beginning in 2025, we're still going to still have the open forums, but they won't be as frequently. So don't expect them every other week. Not sure the frequency, but it's just not going to be the same. All right. Mike, you raised your hand. Mike, go for it.
Yes. What are your thoughts, Jim, on the CPIW was changed back in the day because inflation was so high and the CPW was lower at that time. And I heard a podcast that was explaining how if they changed from the CPW, which is the wages, and they went to the regular CPI, that it would shore up Social Security immensely going forward. And have you looked into that at all or thought about that as far as the CPIW changing it to fix the problem of shortfall?
Yeah, one of the proposals that often shows up in the legislation that gets proposed is the chain CPI. It's known as the CPIU. And what that does is it lowers the cost of living adjustment because it takes into account, and I don't know how they do this, but it takes into account that people adjust for inflation themselves by buying cheaper goods or putting off purchases. So you don't need as much of a cost of living adjustment. They feel that making adjustments will definitely help with the solvency, but it's hard. I guess that has a possibility of passing, but I don't know. I would be surprised if they change it.
And what are your thoughts then on the shortfall fixes, or will a shortfall hit people?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they'll make the changes before, probably right before they have to, but we're looking at increase in full retirement age. Currently caps out at 67. It's probably going to go to 70. They're going to raise the amount of money that we pay the Social Security tax on. So the wage amount, it's 168.6 going up to 176,100 next year. They're probably going to raise that maybe up to 250,000, or maybe it'll stop at, say, the 176, but kick in again at 400,000. And they feel those two things would almost take care of the whole deficit problem that they're looking at. So it's always hard to tell what's going to end up, because the proposals oftentimes not only include those fixes, but it'll include things that cost money. Like one of the proposals we see occasionally, adding back in kids again until if they go to college until age 22. That would cost the program. So they'll have to figure out ways to cover that as well. So it's always difficult to project what Congress is going to do until they actually do it.
Okay, we'll move on to somebody just raised his hand. I don't know who you are. CH96, so forth and so on.
Hello. Yeah, thank you. It's my my first open forum, and I'm taking the exam here next month. So thank you very much. I wanted to ask a question. I signed up recently for updates on the Social Security website, and it may have been a mistake because there's so many that come in frequently. But I saw one thing that I wanted to ask a question about. So if a Social Security recipient is living, say they're living with a child, and have a certain portion of their housing costs, housing needs that are met by that person, are they subject to a reduction in their benefits? Is that correct?
Not with Social Security, you would be with SSI.
Okay.
Supplemental Security Income, because that's a needs-based program. So any other resource or income can have an effect on your Social Security benefit or on your SSI benefit. But the Social Security, no, the percentages that they're paid, the only thing that lowers those would be the family maximum, with more people receiving on the record. So they hit the family maximum and it gets lowered that way. But no, the other thing would have no effect on Social Security itself.
Okay, thank you. So strictly SSI.
Right.
And then I saw, I believe it's as of September 30th, that food costs are no longer part of the calculation. Did I
Again,
see
that's
that correctly?
SSI.
That's just for SSI. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay. And who are you?
My name is Curtis Hopp, HOPP.
Okay. Thanks, Curtis. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, I think we left off with Kathy. Am I right, Kathy? We forgot to you yet?
Yeah, you got to me.
Okay, thanks. Jamie, you're next then.
Hey, good morning. Mercifully, my Cowboys were on a bye this week,
Okay.
so good for us. But
Too bad
yeah,
they don't
nothing-
play the Browns twice.
Yeah, too bad.
Yeah.
It sure looked a lot better when we beat them early in the season than
Yeah.
it does now. But
Yep.
things change. Yeah, I'm all good. Thank you, though.
Okay, thanks. Randy.
I just wanted your opinion on the for somebody that does not go online to get their statements. And they want to know what their benefits are. What's your recommendation? Do they call the 800 number? And if they do, can they get those benefits over the phone? Can they verbally tell them and look them up right then, or will they send them a statement? Or are they better off calling their local Social Security office? And so besides going online, what's your recommendation on the best way to get a person's benefits?
Remind you, I got a guy coming at 11.
Well, first of all, I'd recommend they go online, but if they're age 60 or older, they're supposed to receive it in the mail if they haven't created the online account. But otherwise, technically, you can call the 800 number and they do have access to that information.
Okay.
Depending on who they talk to, they may not understand it. So probably their best bet would be to contact the local office. All that's on the Social Security computers. Anybody can easily pull it up and look at it and tell them, they can see what their PIA is going to be. So, and then you can figure out the benefit from there. It's probably going into the local office. You're going to get more likely to get it and probably better information
Than the 800 number.
Yeah.
Okay. I had one other question too. On husband and wife, we know spousal benefits is 50% of PIA. If one of them is on Social Security disability, is those rules still stay the same, or is there any difference? One of them is on Social Security disability, spousal benefits.
Yeah, a spouse can draw off of their spouse who's drawing Social Security disability. The PIA, because that's the benefit they're getting. Disability is not reduced for age. If the person that's on disability wants to file for spousal benefits, they can still do that once they're age 62 or older. And if they file at 62, the disability is still 100% of their PIA, but then their spousal benefit would be reduced for age.
Okay.
Deemed filing doesn't apply to the disability, so they don't have to take the spousal benefit. They could wait till full retirement age if they wanted to and then get the full 50%. But they're still eligible for the benefit if the calculation works out that way.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Randy. Okay, Daisy, you're next, Daisy. You're on mute, though. Still on mute. There you
Sorry,
go.
There
Okay,
you
we
go.
got you.
Sorry about that. Okay, I have a few questions. One of them is that I have a member that she is under disability, and then she is about to get married. So the future husband asked me if her disability benefits will be lost after she gets married. Her husband, she doesn't work, and then the husband earns around $70,000 a year. What would be your advice on that?
And as long as it's Social Security disability, not SSI, there's no effect. She'll still draw her disability. His work has no effect on it. The marriage has no effect on it. She'll still be entitled to what she's receiving.
Great, thank you. And then the next question is, if the person applies for the SSI, and then in the application, when they apply it online, there is a question that says, if you leave this question unchecked, we will send it to see if the person qualifies for the Medicaid. Will the person automatically, the application, will it be sent to the Medicaid department? Because I have a client, I do Medicare, and I have a client that just emailed me saying that she received a letter that she's gonna lose her benefits and that she needs to reapply through the Social Security for the extra help. So she lost her Medicaid. If she applies for the extra help through the Social Security, will that application count as a Medicaid application as well?
Yeah, they should, if she applies for the extra help, yes, they should notify the state. I don't know if I would depend on that. I would contact them myself if it was me, just to be on the safe side. But if she doesn't, she should still eventually hear from someone.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you, Daisy. Let's see, Lee, you're next, Lee.
Hi, thank you. So I have a scenario I just wanted to run by you guys. I have a client, I'm working with her on Medicare, but she was telling me her plans, she and her ex-husband divorced and then he passed away. She has not remarried. They were married for over 10 years. She said she was going to take her benefits early and then change to his at her full retirement age, because his benefit is larger than hers. So she can do that, right?
Yes.
Okay, I was just a little confused. I guess I was thinking of the deemed filing, which I know is no more. But I just wanted to make
filing
sure.
doesn't apply to survivor benefits.
Yeah, okay, awesome. I think that's my only question then. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Lee.
Okay.
Cynthia. You unmute, Cynthia. Still on mute though.
There we go. Sorry about that.
That's
Sorry.
okay.
No, I just wanted to jump in, and I haven't been on for a couple months, so I just thought I'd check in. Always like the forums, get some information that way, but no questions today.
Okay, thanks, Cynthia.
Yeah, thank you.
Vicky, hi, Vicky. Good morning.
Hi, Mark.
Hi.
Just wanted to verify some information. I've been working with a couple of widows. One of them is a school employee here in the state of Ohio, and she wants to retire this coming January. She is currently receiving, her husband passed away, so she's collecting Social Security, as a surviving spouse. And, when I met with her, I told her, well, your school pension is going to go down because, you've been there 35 years. And she said she talked to the HR lady that the school uses, and, they said that's not true. And I said, well, yeah, it is. They're not going to let you have both. So I told her to go to her local Social Security office. So that was I correct?
Yeah, it's not that the school pension will go down, it's that her Social Security will go down.
Right. Yeah. I told her that.
Yeah, government pension offset
Yep.
will apply as soon as she starts to get her, I assume it's the school employee's pension. But whichever, as soon as she starts to get that, her Social Security will be reduced by 2/3 of that pension.
Okay. And then the other one I want to verify is I've got another widow, had a lot of those lately,
Yeah.
that is also 64 years old. When her husband passed away, he was on Social Security disability. And I told her that if she waits to 67, she would get his full disability amount, correct?
That's correct. Plus, any cost of living adjustments that have come along since he passed away.
Okay. And then now, if she wants to take it this coming year, she could take her Social Security and then take his at 67.
Yes.
Okay, now is it when he would have turned 67 or when she turned 67?
No, it's based on her age. So
Her age, okay.
Yeah.
All right, those are my questions. Thank you.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Nikki.
Yes.
As long as she was not born in 1961, because the survivor benefit would kick in a couple months before her retirement, full retirement age.
She was born in 1960.
Oh, okay. So her actual full retirement age for the survivor benefit, I'd have to look, but it's either 2 or 4 months before she would reach age 67. So it'll be like 66 and 10 months or 66 and 8 months. She'll need to check on that to be sure, or I can look it up if you want me to. But because of that weird rule, for some reason, her full retirement age for survivor benefit is a little earlier than it is for retirement.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll email you the birth dates and then, you can
Okay.
answer when you have time. All right. Thanks, Jim.
Sure.
Thanks, Vicky. Okay, Allison, you're next.
I'm just listening in today, no questions.
Thanks, Allison. Hi, Kay. Good morning.
Hey, how's it going?
We're good, thanks. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me. So I just have a quick question. I have a client who was trying to make an appointment at Social Security and they called in. They don't have a computer, so they can't do anything online. She just is not technology savvy. But she was given an appointment late in December. Is that fairly common for this time?
Okay.
Yeah, it depends on the office. I mean, the appointment calendars in a lot of offices are far out. I talked to somebody the other day that called an office that said they're not taking appointments until spring. I don't know how that conversation went that way, but yeah, it's possible that it could be December. If the date she called in will protect her, if that's necessary. So if she wanted benefits to begin in October, even though she doesn't file till December, those use the date she called in as her application date. And so she'll be due some back pay in that case. But their staffing is way down, and a lot of offices are just they don't have the staff to do the work they need to do, and so they're struggling.
Well, yeah, and they even said no walk-ins. Because that was another strategy. I said maybe you could go first thing in the morning before the office opens, and then you'll be there. And they said no walk-ins.
Yeah, so it's a little rough getting anything done at the Social Security office. It might not help, but it might. Sometimes if you visit the local congressman's office and they call the office manager, they may just go ahead and say, I'll have somebody call you and take the application. That worst case scenario is she wasted a little bit of time and they'll say, well, we still can't take it till December, but at least she's got the appointment and they will call her and take it. And if they need to protect her back to October, they will.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
I just wanted to say that if you look up those tiny little the small offices in and around your state, they're usually not that busy and they will take walk-ins, because we run into that same problem here in Houston. And if you can find those little ones in the little small towns, they usually have a little bit better access and they can go anywhere.
Right.
Thank you.
And if they fuss about it, you just tell them, I prefer this office. It's federal program. They have to, my employees used to complain about that all the time because people would come up from Dayton and they'd say they should go to their own office. I said, they can go to any office they want. So.
That's a good point. So they can go to any office they want in any town.
Any town, any state. Social Security is a federal program, not a state program.
Thank you for that.
They should be charged a convenience fee.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks, everybody. All right, see, Jeffrey, I don't think we've done you, Jeff, have we?
You have not called on me.
Okay, you're
Thank
next
you.
then.
Yeah, thanks. I'm just listening in today, though. No
Okay,
questions.
thanks.
Appreciate it.
David, you're next.
Hello. Yeah, I just thought I'd gloat a little bit since football was mentioned earlier.
Hey, go for it.
My Lions beat a team last week that sent them into a bye week on that owner's birthday, and I loved it. It was revenge for what happened to him last year.
Mm-hmm.
And then we took first place yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, I don't have any questions.
Yeah, I wish the Browns can hire Campbell, that's for sure.
Yeah,
Good job.
they handed old Minnesota their first loss. So that
Yeah,
that was good to see. If I remember, I started off a little rough for them, but they trounced them pretty good.
Yeah.
Definitely
Yeah,
turning
we
into
are-
a
they're
Lions
giving us some
fan
optimism.
myself. Right, thanks, David.
Years of disappointment, I can finally feel a little more confident.
Yeah, I can't. No confidence here. Bianca, you're next.
Good morning, everyone. Mark and Jim, I know I've emailed you this question in the past. I have several clients who are school teachers. We're school teachers in the state of Connecticut. One of them, every time we talk, asks when the WEP is going to be reversed. If there's a piece of legislature out there, this guy is just very optimistic. Any shot in heck.
Yeah, well, it's House Bill 282, first of all. And there's a lot of sponsors to it. The vote will probably happen, I don't know, maybe sometime this year. I can't say for sure.
I heard in November sometime.
Okay. And even though it might pass in the House, will it pass in the Senate? I doubt it. I don't think it's going to become law. I don't think WEP or GPO will be repealed. So tell this client of yours not to hold his breath. He can keep his fingers crossed, but I wouldn't hold my breath.
That's what I told him last week, but I figured
keep telling him.
I'd ask you guys in case you heard something new.
Yeah, no.
Thanks.
Thanks, Bianca. Luke, you're next.
Hey, Mark, Vikings fan here. That was a good game. I was happy we were in it till the end, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't have any specific questions. I kind of hopped on a little bit late, so just listening in.
Thank you, Luke. Appreciate it. Aaron. Hi, Aaron. Yeah, I didn't quite catch everything you're saying, but go ahead. I can hear you now.
I'm
though.
sorry. I'm
That's
not
okay.
close enough to my microphone.
Okay.
I had a question about Irma, and the question has to do with the timeline. So an individual is not going to get their letter till November or December, I'm assuming. They fill out the SSA 44, send it right back in, say they get it to them before the end of the year. Do they process them that quickly so that Irma is never actually pulled out, like of their Social Security check? Or is this going to be several months and then they'll see a fresh deposit of those monies coming back?
Let's just say they should process it right away.
Okay, what happens in reality?
It's processed in the local office. So it's not an issue where they have to send it out. They take the SSA 44 and send it off somewhere. Somebody in that office makes the decision. So it's really dependent upon the office itself.
But you can fill that form out, and when you mail it in, you're actually mailing it to the local office. You're not mailing it to some black hole somewhere.
You can mail. I mean, you could mail it to they'll give you an address, but I would send it to the local office.
Okay. Do you need to go in, or you can just mail it?
From getting it processed quicker, I would say take it in and drop it off.
Okay.
And if you're going to do that, ask for a date stamped copy so that you've got proof of when you dropped it off. And
why do they backdate it based on when they got that form?
Well, it's just if it never gets processed and then you call them up and say, are you going to make a decision? And they'll say, "Oh, I don't see any forms around here that you filled out." So you've got proof. Anytime you give something like that to Social Security, I've just always asked for a date stamp copy.
Okay.
Because
Sounds good.
sometimes it gets lost.
That's not good. And then you would be out of luck because they're certainly not going to go back a prior calendar year or anything, right?
Well, they could, but whether or not they do is a different story.
Okay. And then the approval process, it sounds like is rather dependent on who picks up your form. Is that
It's
correct?
based on whoever makes the decision.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Jim.
Sure.
Elisa, good morning.
Hello. Eagles
Heidi.
won yesterday.
What's that?
Eagles won.
Oh, good for you. They won the week before against Cleveland.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Elisa.
I don't have a question, more of a story. I had a client come to me that has a WEP pension, and she said, I don't qualify for Social Security. She's about 70 and a half. We actually pulled her Social Security statement, and she did work at least 40 quarters at another job that wasn't WEP related. So I'm working on getting her that the breakdown where it actually tells you all the years instead of like the 10-year clumps. But she actually has an amount on her Social Security statement, and she does qualify for a couple $100 in addition to her WEP pension.
Yeah, she should just go ahead and file, particularly since she's past age 70. They do have a 6-month retroactive, but if she's more than 70 in 6 months, she'll start losing some benefits. So.
Yeah. So I told her to call the Social Security office and like get an appointment so that her date is locked in while she's finding us the additional information, just so that we can figure out exactly how much.
That's the right thing to do.
Yep. But again, it's good. Some of these people with WEP pensions, they just assume they don't qualify, and they do. So always get that statement.
Yeah, I mean, and she'll get delayed retirement credits, but depending on the amount, it may not be that much of an increase. It's too bad she didn't know and didn't file at her full retirement age, but.
Yep. Thank you.
Thanks, Elisa. Tom, you're next.
Good morning. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so first one of these I've been in on a while, but I do have a question that has to do with a client that I have. She has a federal pension that she's been drawing, and last year she became she was 67, which made her eligible for her full retirement benefits through Social Security. She had enough quarters to receive Social Security benefits, and she does get a monthly check from them. But her question is, she's at full retirement age and she's still working now in the private sector, contributing to Social Security. Will that increase her Social Security benefits in the future at all?
Yes. And I'm living proof of that. When I retired from Social Security, I didn't have 40 credits. I didn't have 40 credits till Mark and I started doing this. And so I've got a lot of 0 years on my record. And every year I get an increase. Not much because we don't report a lot of earnings, but at least from that perspective. But they recalculate it every year. So what will happen is it's usually October, and it was again this year. It was just a couple of weeks ago. I got a little deposit in my account of some back pay that they owed me because my increase was effective January of 2024 for my 2023 earnings. And then next month, I'll see a little bit of an increase in my monthly payment. It's all automatic.
Okay.
But it will increase her benefit because I imagine she has a bunch of 0 years too.
Right. She worked 19 years for the federal government, and then she was a homemaker for a number of years, and then she went back to work.
Okay.
So, yeah, okay. That was my question. Thank you.
Sure.
Bruce, you're next. Bruce, you're on mute. Bruce Castleman, do you still, you have anything on your mind today? Okay. Well, some of you have kind of flipped around on me a little. Matt. Good morning, Matt.
Good morning. Nope, nothing from me today. Just here to observe and listen.
Okay, great. Thank you. You guys have flipped around, so I'm not sure. George, you're next, George.
Good morning. No questions listening in. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Randy, you're next, Randy. Okay.
Oh, you already got to me.
Okay, great. I think we got to Jamie. How about John?
Good morning.
Howdy.
Good. I was just about ready to raise my hand. Wasn't sure if I got flipped to the other side.
Okay.
Hey, thanks for all you guys do. I have a couple questions. The income limits, I had a client last week came in. He's going to make over $100,000. He's turning 65 and he wanted to turn on his income. I discouraged him from doing that because of the income limits over, 23.4 next year. And so I wanted to find out, is that based on, so if his MAGI is going to be over $100,000, there'd be no reason to take his Social Security prior to FRI, correct?
And we're not looking at Maggie. I call it Maggie.
Maggie.
We're looking just earned income. If his earned income is $100,000, 100,000 minus 20 is 80, divide that by 2 is 40. So he'd lose estimated $40,000 in benefits. So probably no reason. Jim, do you agree?
Yeah, I mean, it depends on type of income, but it
Yeah.
sounds like he wouldn't be eligible until full retirement age.
A lot of it is rental income.
Okay, well, rental income can kind of go, it can be characterized as earned income in some situations versus passive income. So he or she really needs to reach out to their tax preparer to see how it's treated. But it's just a matter of what the earned income amount is to determine if it makes sense to start taking benefits.
So anything over the 23,400 is what we're talking about. Does that 23,400, if he were to take the Social Security, is that number 23,400 include Social Security?
No, just earned in. Social Security is not earned income.
Gotcha.
Just earned income, W-2 income, and net self-employed income.
Okay. And then the Part B, have you heard of the Part B? A lot of these military guys, I'm here in San Diego. I work with a lot of military, and a lot of them do not turn on their Part B. They don't start paying their Part B because they think they don't need to. But I have heard that there is a bill either that's passed or going to pass or in the works of being able to reverse any of those penalties for past military that did not turn it on, I guess due to bad information or just a gift to them. Have you heard of any of that happening?
Not me, Jim.
Yeah, I haven't heard of that bill. Anybody that can use the VA doesn't have to take Part B, and a lot of them don't. It kind of depends on where they live, depends on their VA hospital if they like it or not. But it's also if they go somewhere else and they have to use a medical facility and it's not the VA, then they could owe some money. So some take it, some don't. I haven't heard about a bill that would allow them to go ahead and sign up if they hadn't already and avoid the penalty. They may be trying to push them towards Medicare. I'm not sure why, but Yeah, that would be interesting.
Yeah, I was in a meeting. These guys deal with a lot of military, and that's what they said. So I thought you guys might be on top of that. And why are they delaying the cost of Part B, the 2025 cost for Part B, the Part D deductible? Why is this delayed before Medicare? I'm talking to clients right now for next year, and I don't have an answer for them, but I'm assuming it's 185.
Yeah, I suppose it'll be 185. Everything I have seen said 185. It might be a few cents one way or the other, but yeah, I'm not sure what information they're waiting on, but it usually does come out later than the COLA adjustments and the other information.
And the COLA adjustment this year is how much?
2.5.
2.5. A lot of times, or I've seen in the past, where it'll cover the increase in the Part B, but I don't think that's happening this year.
Well, it's only going up $10, so it should, for most people, the cost of living should cover it.
I guess that's based on your income. That's true.
Yeah, and there is a hold harmless rule that says that you can't see a net decrease in your Social Security benefit because of a Medicare premium increase. So even if it didn't cover it, if you're just paying the base price, you would just go up to an amount equal to your cost of living increase.
Can you explain that? I've never heard of that. The hold harmless. Can you give me a
hold harmless
scenario?
rule? The hold harmless rule says that you cannot receive a net decrease in your Social Security benefit due to an increase in Medicare premiums. So if your Social Security check goes up $5, but your Medicare premium went up $10, the most they'd increase for that person, their Medicare premium would be $5. So they'd end up with the same amount of money going into their check.
Oh,
Is it just assuming the base rate, not IRMA?
Or yeah, if you're on IRMA, you pay IRMA. That hold harmless doesn't apply to IRMA or people that just have Medicare only.
But I do understand that if you're in IRMA, then you don't get the advantage of hold harmless at all.
Not at all.
Now, and that's not only for the year you're in IRMA, but for future years also. So I'm in IRMA. I will never get the benefit of hold harmless for the rest of my life.
Wow. So you said if they have a Medicare only, what do you mean by that?
Well, you can take Medicare and not take Social Security benefits.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Medicare only. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Okay, folks, we don't have a lot of time left. It's going by quickly, but I needed award 2 gift cards, Jim. 2 numbers between 1 and 40.
9 and 34.
Allison, you win a gift card. Send me an email and I will have Aaron send you the gift card. mkiner@mypremierplan.com. Well, I have no idea if I counted right. So anyway, Judy, seems like you win a gift card too. If I miscounted, folks, I'm sorry. Send me a gift. Send me a gift card. Yeah. Send me an email. mkiner@mypremierplan.com. That will be a reminder for me to send that email on to my son, Aaron, and he'll send you the $50 gift card. So congratulations to Allison and to Judy. Jim, question for you. Somebody was asking what form they complete to have taxes withheld. What form is that?
It's a W-4V, like involuntary.
And where do they send that form to, Jim?
Send that to your local office.
And the local office address is not listed in the instructions, am I right?
No, but you can, if you go to ssa.gov, scroll down to the very bottom, and they got the different things you can click on as to what you want. Contact us, and it'll take you to a place you put in your zip code, and it will give you the address of the local office.
Yeah, I'm having taxes withheld. It was nice to see that amount listed in my 1099. Believe me, I wish I could have more taxes withheld, but limit is 22% maximum. All right, look at Darlene. You're next, Darlene.
Good morning. I don't have anything to add today. Thanks.
Okay, thank you. Plachette, you're next. Okay, let's go to Roger, please.
Just joining in for the first time. Thank you.
Okay, Judy, you're up, Judy.
No questions, just listening in today. Thank you.
Okay, Alicia.
Just listening as well.
Okay, so am I. Jim's doing all the talking. Thank you, Jim. You earned your compensation today. Brad, you're up, Brad.
Yeah, quick question. Husband and wife, wife has been a homemaker her whole life. Husband is 2 years older. Wife is now hitting her full retirement age. Can she draw off a spousal retirement even though husband is waiting until 70 and hasn't drawn yet?
Unfortunately for her, no, she has to wait until he applies for benefits.
Okay.
Before hers will kick in.
Okay, that's what I thought. Thank you.
Elena. Hi, Elena. Can't hear you, but I know you're trying to say something. No, you probably said nothing. Okay. Doug, you're up, Doug.
Hey, good morning, Mark. I'm
Hi.
just listening.
Okay,
Thank you.
Now there's a note taker taking notes. Do you want to say anything, note taker? You're probably here for somebody else. Okay, Pamela, you're next, Pamela.
Just fortunate to be listening in. Thank you.
Okay. Sue, you're next, Sue.
Yeah, just two questions. What Brad was saying about the wife that didn't work in that, and the husband hasn't turned on his. But what if the husband had turned his on at full retirement age? Now she's approaching hers. Would she be wise to go after a spousal boost or, spousal Social Security and let hers build up 8%?
Can't do that. Deemed filing would make her take her own first, and then any spousal benefit on top of that. Plus, keep in mind, if she waits and earns delayed retirement credits for every dollar her benefit is increased, it decreases the spousal benefit by $1.
Okay. The second question, the IRAMA, hold harmless. So you're saying on an annual basis, if you're taking Medicare and Social Security, if Medicare goes up, say, $10 for the year, your Social Security only goes up $5, and you're held harmless, and therefore your Medicare premium would only go up $5, correct?
Right.
Okay, and what does IRMA stand for, please? Sorry.
Well,
Income
IRMA's
related monthly adjustment amount.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jim.
That's okay.
I know something.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, when the duet was talking, I couldn't
Yeah,
hear the first two letters. IR?
Income related monthly adjustment amount.
Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Sure, no problem. And don't forget, Irma, hold harmless will not, if hold harmless applies to somebody in 2025, then in 2026, eventually the Medicare folks will adjust and get all their money eventually. So if they're short $5 this year, they'll make it up next year. So it's not like it's not made up. It is.
Okay, thank you.
Pleasure. All right, folks, it's 10:58. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Jim, any final comments you'd like to make?
No, just thanks for being here, and I guess we'll see you in a couple of weeks, maybe.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. See ya.